Hi there, my gorgeous friends on the internet. Today we are gonna take a look at how to set up your Visual Studio Code and get started with writing your code in Visual Studio Code. For that, you'll have to download the setup for Visual Studio Code, and to download it, you'll have to go for the internet. To do is that in your browser you have to write and download Visual Studio Code, and this will make you able to download the setup for Visual Studio Code from their official website. But I have the setup already downloaded, so I will not go for that downloading step, and I will go into my PC. I already have the setup and I will install it from there, and you'll follow the installation steps here. Now I am going to the source, and here I have my Visual Studio Code setup, and I will open it. You also have to open it, and here you have to click on I accept the agreement, and then click next. Then search for the destination where you want to save it or install it. And after selecting the destination, I will select the default destination. I don't want to change, and then click next. And if you will click next, you will get this, and again click next. And now if you want a desktop icon, then click on create a desktop icon. But if you don't want, and I don't want that, so these four options are mandatory: add open with code action to Windows Explorer, and register code as an editor. These are the mandatory checkboxes. You have to check it, and then click next. And then what you have to do is that then you have to click next. This will checking these options will enable you to get what we can say is to get an extension of Visual Studio Code to open any file directly. So now it is gonna be installed, and wait a minute, and it will be installed in no time. Hey, there we go, it's installed. Now click on the finish button to start with your code editor. Here we go. The window of Visual Studio Code looks like this. If you install it at the first time, it looks like this. Now, to get started with Visual Studio Code, what you have to do is just go to the side and the settings, and click on settings, and then go to settings here in the top. Click on that settings, and you will get the following settings. These are the commonly used settings for your code editor, and you can customize it as in the manner you want it to be. Now we can change much more things here. We can say auto save. We can enable auto save, and I am doing that on window change. It means that whenever we will change the window, the file will automatically get saved. That's a beneficial thing. You should select that as well. And after that, we'll go for the font size. I want the font size to I want to keep the font size at 18 because that is concise for me, and you can select it as in a manner you want. And you can also change all these settings in the manner you want, and I will keep them as default, and I don't want to change them. But I will change the font family here to cursive. You can change to any font family like sans serif and impact and any other Cordova and any other font family. But I am choosing cursive here because I like that. So here you can change the settings of your code editor, and that's easy to do. You can do it by yourselves. Nothing is worrying here, and nothing is confusing. All the things are really very easy. So you will go through these settings by yourself. And now what I am gonna do is that I will go from here, and I will go back from here, and I will show you how to get started with your first project. Now click on this icon here, and to get started you have to open a folder, open a new folder, or open a new project folder, we can say. And for doing that, you'll have to click on this open folder button. After clicking that, this dialog box pops up, and you have to create a new folder or select any existing folder. And after creating a new folder, you will rename it, and I am renaming it as my first website. You can write anything here. Now click on the select button, and your folder will get open here. Now once your folder is opened, what you have to do is click on this new file button. You see here a plus sign with a file icon, and you have to click on that. And if you'll click on that, you will have to name your file which you want to create. Let's say I'm naming it as index, or you can name it anything you want, but I will name it as index. And one thing to be noted here is that you have to also mention the extension of the file. Means if you want to create an HTML file or a CSS file or a JS file or anything else, if you want to create an HTML file, you will say .html, because it is the extension for the HTML file. If you want to create a CSS file, you will say .css, and if you want to create a JavaScript file, you will say .js, and similar to all of that. Now I want to create an HTML file, so I will say .html and press enter to create this file, and there you go, your file is ready. Now you'll check on the desktop whether our file is there or not. You can see that here my first website folder is created, and if you click on that, you'll see that this index.html file has been created here. That's how we can create a new file on Visual Studio Code. Now we are gonna open it in the browser. After that, I want to show some of the basic steps you have to do in what we can say is Visual Studio to get started with code. You can get started with a simple code like HTML body. I think that body comes after head tag, so first I will have to write the head tag, and after that comes the body tag. I'm writing the head tag, then title tag, and I will give it a title like website, and after that we will start the body tag. It comes after the head tag. I'll start with the body tag. You have to just write the body and click enter, and it will get the closing tag for you as well. So, and the Visual Studio Code is very, very nice. I think it is the better choice for you. Now I am gonna create a div with some normal style, means slow method I say for that. We can just create a div like writing div div, but I want to show you the fast method which you can use to write your code very faster. What I am doing, I have to write it inside the h1 tag, so I'm just not doing nothing but creating an h1 tag. That's here the h1 tag I am creating, and for checking whether our website or our HTML document is working or not, just save the file, and what you have to do is go to your browser. You have to open the file and refresh it, and there we go, the h1 is being displayed here. Now I want to show you the simplest and the easiest method to write your code, which is fast as well and quick. You can write your code in just a second. You can write a full page code in just 1 minute, I think. And their method is just code snippets, means you can just use shortcuts to write your code. For example, if you want the basic HTML boilerplate, means the simple HTML document to get started, what you have to do is that you have to get started with this icon, which is shift plus digit 1, and press tab. then you will get this boilerplate here for HTML. This is a basic structure of document, and you can change everything as you want. Here I will go with the body, and I will create I can write anything here. Now after that being said, what I will do is that I will go with some code inside this body, and that code, first of all I will show you the slower method. I said to that slower method of writing the code here. I'm creating manually an h1 tag, and I'm writing some text here, and I am manually giving it a class, something like heading 1, and also I want to give it an ID manually, and this will take my whole 1 minute to write just a single line of code. But I don't want you to do so. I want you to be faster, quicker, and smarter. So for that, just write the h1, and giving it a class, just write dot and name the class which you want. Whatever you want to name, just say just write the name here, and then we will for giving an ID to this element, we have to say hashtag and then say name the ID and click enter, and this will give you this whole code automatically. h1 class heading 1 and ID head and all that thing in just a second. Now let's get started with another example, a little bit bigger one, so that you can get it, you can understand it very easily. What I am gonna do now is that I'm gonna get started with something like, we can say a division, and then inside that division I'm gonna nest some other tag, which is the UL tag. I say the UL tag, and inside that UL tag, inside each UL tag I want LI, list item, and I want 5 list items, so I will multiply the LI with 5. Just click the enter, just press the enter, and with this code you will get a larger code. Believe me, I am not lying. Now you'll see here the result, that when I press enter, this will give me a whole big code, and that code is generated with just this smaller line. And that's what I was telling you about, and there we go. We have got this whole code in just a second, and this is nicely nested inside each other. We got a div, we got a UL, and we got 5 LIs inside the UL. Now I'll tell you about much more here, and let's say something like, we can do much more with this. We can write a 1000 lines code with this example here, but I'm not gonna make it difficult for you now, but you have to understand the basic concept. I'm gonna create a div with a UL, means inside the div I want 5 ULs, and inside each UL I want 2 LIs. Here we go, we have a div, and inside that we have 2 ULs, and each UL contains 2 list items, mean LIs. Now let's write some text here, and we'll get started with that in no time. So I'm writing the text here for them. I think that I have made some mistake, but you have to notice that mistake. Just tell me in the comments what I am doing. Here we go. I'm not getting the 2, I'm getting the 4 outside of the list item. I'm getting the LI with the 5 here, and you have to make me able to notice my mistake. And here I go, I've written this 5 inside the LI, but I have to write it outside that brackets. And there we go, we have this 5 here corrected, but this 4 is still not being corrected. And what is the mistake for that? The mistake for that is that we written it in after the UL tag, but we have to write it inside the list item, means the LI. So now I think we will get the correct result here. Just refresh and you got the result here. And if there is any other mistake, you should notice and tell me in the comments below. So there was a simple example for how to write your code concisely and fast. And I want you to be smarter. not that dull hard worker. Hard working is good, but smart work is better than that. So after that, what I want to tell you is that let's go and create a new file and naming it as style.css. Name it as style.css and just press enter. Now here we got a new file, means a style sheet here. Now what you have to do is that just what mistake I made always is that I just start coding here, but I don't even link this file to the HTML file. That is a big mistake, and you shouldn't repeat that again. You should focus on that. First when you create a file, you have to link it with the main file or the main HTML document. So to link that, we got here, and we have to go after the title tag, and we have to say link CSS. Saying that, we'll get a boilerplate just in the faster method. But first I want to show you in the slower method and then in the faster method. Just like I am writing it manually. A link, a rel means relation. What I got here, link rel is equal to style sheet, and then we have to say href, the hyperreference, equals style.css. I hope it is style.css. href should be style.css. Here in this href you have to write the source, means write the name and extension of the file which you want to link with this file. So type, we can write text/css because it is a CSS file. And this was the slower method, and if we click on that, we will get into their file. Now I'm gonna show you the faster method to do that. What you have to do is that just write link here, and you will get these drop downs here. From there you have all these options here. You have link, atom, css, favicon, im, import, manifest, and all these things here. But if you want to link css, you have to click on this css, and you will get this whole code, this whole line of code, which links your file automatically. But if your source is different, you can change the source here in the style.css. Then we can manually write text, and type is equal to text/css, and if you don't write that, nothing is gonna happen, nothing is gonna be wrong here, because that is not mandatory. But if you write, that is good. Now we have linked our file, and if we control plus click on that, we will get into our style.css file. Now here is a style sheet, and it's used to style the HTML files and HTML documents. And here every browser means initially adds some paddings and margins in the document, and to remove that we have to do some basic code here. To remove the manual styles, we have to write this asterisk sign, which you will find in your shift plus digit add button. And what this asterisk sign does is that it selects all the files, all the elements inside the document, and removes all the things here like padding, 0 margin, 0 box sizing, border box. Now we are gonna do something with the body. Just write the body just like the body, and display flex, justify content center. I am doing this because I want to center all the elements inside the body. We'll say align item center, and after that we'll just say if you want the height, then it will be 100 VH for me. You can do it as you want, and the width will be 100 VW. After that, if you want any other styles, you can add that, but it's all for me. Now I wanna also add a background. I think that will be we can say background color. In my opinion, that should be a linear gradient. I think what I have written here, linear gradient. I'll give any color. I don't have to give number, but I have to give the degree first in which I want the gradient to be. I'll say 45 degree. The color should be orange and light green, I think. Yes, this is light green. Then we have to go inside the div. We have to refresh it. We'll get it centered, get the content centered here perfectly. Now and we have to go inside the div and give it some basic styles. So for that, what we have to do is that just go inside the div. What I'm doing here, I have to give it in pixels, not VH. I will say the height should be just, I think, 500 pixels or something like 600 pixels or 500 pixels, 700 pixels, let's say, and the width should be 1200 pixels. Yeah, 1200 pixels, that's it. Then what I wanna say is you should notice if I made any mistake and tell me in the comments below. Then I will style the div as position absolute top, but I don't need to do that because I have centered it already and don't need to position it anymore. So we'll add some another styles like we want position relative will be good, I think, but you can do it manually because you know CSS. I am satisfied with your CSS. Now just say color white and anything you want. I am just adding some basic styles here. There we go, we have added some basic styles here, and we also need some padding, I think, because these are sticking to the side here. So we'll add some padding, like in my opinion we should add some padding of 10 or 20 pixels. I say yes, 20 pixels will be good, but that's still not oh, that's good. We have got it done with a 50 pixels padding, and that's all. There were some basic styles I want to tell you about, and we'll meet in the next video. Hope you have understood it well, and please subscribe and like the video, and we'll meet in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.